to Wicked Valina. I'm Valina. Welcome to Wicked Valina Live. Sorry I have a cold today. Well, looky here. Israeli politicians are demanding that former President Barack Obama give back his Nobel Peace Prize after it was revealed he aided terrorist organization Hezbollah to secure his Iran deal. Well, that really wasn't a big shocker, was it? State Department confirms $400 million Iran payment conditioned on prisoner release. He lied about the hostages openly and blatantly, just like he lied about Obamacare, said Trump. The mainstream media has had a lot of practice ignoring Obama-era scandals. It should come as no surprise that major news outlets continue to ignore Obama's scandals surfacing after his presidency. Politico published a bombshell report over the weekend, offering meticulous detail on how the Obama administration killed intelligence and law enforcement agency efforts to shut down Hezbollah's narco-terror network. The motive? Obama protecting his precious Iran nuclear deal, which would be threatened if Iran's pet terror organization suffered defeats at the hands of Obama. According to Newsbusters, all three major network outlets, ABC, CBS, and NBC, and the Spanish-language networks, Univision and Telemundo, blacked out the incredible scandal. CNN and MSNBC appear to have ignored it as well. Fox News, of course, is covering the story. A very serious charge tonight against the Obama administration. A bombshell report alleges the government deliberately sabotaged its own efforts to fight terrorist drug and money laundering operations. At what cost was the nuclear deal with Iran reached? McKelway asked. In an effort to reach the agreement, the Obama administration drastically curtailed efforts to interdict cocaine shipments into the U.S. by Hezbollah, a terrorist organization closely allied with Iran. In 2016, a DEA official told a congressional panel that Operation Cassandra, a massive law enforcement effort to stop the Hezbollah drug trade, was inexplicably curtailed, McKelway added. In a clip played by McKelway, former DEA Chief of Operations Michael Braun testified before Congress that, for some unknown reason, we seem to have missed out on one opportunity after another. We seem to have forgotten about the importance of disrupting the supply of chain. Politico spoke with a former CIA officer who confirmed that the Obama administration's efforts to stifle their investigation were tied directly to the nuclear deal with Iran. DEA operations in the Middle East were shut down repeatedly due to the political sensitivities, especially in Lebanon, according to one former CIA officer working in the region. He said pressure from the White House also prompted the CIA to declare a moratorium on covert operations against Hezbollah in Lebanon, too. For a time after the administration received complaints from Iranian negotiators, Obama really wanted the deal, the CIA officer added. Of course, as mentioned, underplaying or ignoring Obama's scandals is nothing new for such outlets. For example, missing stimulus money, the Sestak affair, Dealergate, politicization of the National Endowment of the Arts, DOJ settlement slush funds. Operation Fast and Furious, the firing of AmeriCorps IG Gerald Walpin, the IRS targeting scandal, Obamacare lies, DOJ spying on journalists, Benghazi, the Pigford scandal, the NSA spying scandal, the EPA Gold King mine spill, the GSA Las Vegas scandal, the VA death list scandal, Solyndra, shutdown theater, the State Department whistleblower scandal, the Taliban 5 Bergdahl trade, the Iran nuclear deal and ransom payment, the skewing of ISIS intelligence, Emailgate, mass spying on Americans, and unmasking Trump associates. Now back to scandals past. Updated 8/18 to 2016. Republicans are claiming vindication after the State Department confirmed on Thursday that the United States conditioned the release of a $400 million cash payment to Iran on the departure of the American prisoners from Tehran. At a Thursday news briefing, State Department spokesman Jim Kirby addressed questions about a Wall Street Journal report explaining that the U.S. held on to the $400 million cash payment until American prisoners were on a plane and safely away from Iran to retain maximum leverage. Kirby said the arrangement did not in any way constitute a ransom payment, as President Barack Obama, Republican critics have alleged. We deliberately leveraged that moment to finalize these outstanding issues nearly simultaneously. With concerns that Iran may renege on the prisoner release, given unnecessary delays regarding persons in Iran who could not be located, as well as, to be quite honest, mutual mistrust between Iran and the United States, we of course sought to retain maximum leverage until after American citizens were released. That was our top priority. Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump seized on the announcement during a campaign rally in Charlotte, North Carolina, saying it proved that Obama had lied about the payment and said it had put every American traveling overseas, including our military personnel, at greater risk to be kidnapped. He denied it was for the hostages, but it was, Trump said. He said we don't pay ransom, but he did. He lied about the hostages, openly and blatantly, just like he lied about Obamacare. In a statement blasted out shortly after the news briefing ended, the Republican National Committee said Kirby's comments represented a tacit admission that the payment was, in fact, ransom. What the statement admitted today was the dictionary definition of a ransom payment and a complete contradiction of what they were saying just 2 weeks ago. RNC spokesman Michael Short said, "It's time for the Obama White House to drop the charade and admit it paid a ransom to the world's leading state sponsor of terrorism. Hillary Clinton's support of this dangerous blunder, which has put a price on the head of every American citizen, shows once again she does not have the judgment to be president." House Speaker Paul Ryan's office issued a statement of its own, citing concerns House Republicans had raised as far back as January and calling on Obama to offer a more full explanation of the payment. For months, the president and his spokespeople denied that he had reversed decades of U.S. policy by ransoming the freedom of American citizens. Today, State Department spokesman John Kirby finally admitted it. Ryan's spokesman, Doug Andres, said, as the president once acknowledged, paying ransom risks endangering more Americans and funding the very terrorism that we were trying to stop. He owes the American people a full and honest accounting of the ransom payment made in January. Senator Dianne Feinstein, Democrat of California, defended the timing of the cash payment in an interview on CNN. Now Iran was going to release the hostages that we very much would like released, she said. We would send them the money before they released or after they released. I ask for your judgment. I know what I would do. I would be after they are released. And that's exactly what the administration did. And I think it's very much the right thing. Kirby's statement confirms what already was obvious, that the Obama administration paid ransom to the world's #1 state sponsor of terrorism and has been trying to deny it ever since, said Senator John McCain, Republican, Arizona. Senator Mark Kirk, Republican, Illinois, likewise a staunch opponent of the Iran deal, called for congressional hearings in a statement to Politico. It clearly was a ransom payment, and the State Department is now completely contradicting its August 3rd claim that the $400 million foreign cash airlift was completely separate from Iran's release of U.S. hostages. Kirk said, I want congressional hearings so the American people can know the full truth about the scandalous cash for hostages deal with Iran. Senator Ben Sasse, Republican, Nebraska, was just as direct in labeling the cash payment a ransom, rejecting Kirby's explanation that the prisoner release and financial translation were linked only by circumstance. If it quacks like a duck, it is a duck, Sasse said. If a cash payment is contingent on a hostage release, it is ransom. The truth matters, and the president owes the American people an explanation, even now. Shortly after, the Obama administration paid the ransom payment for the hostages to Iran and gave them back $1.6 billion so they may begin their nuclear program. To the state sponsor of terror, the largest state sponsor of terror around the world. Iran executed an adolescent boy for the act of homosexuality. He was hung. This was in violation of international law. A child rights panel head, West, hypocritical for courting Iran as it executes minors. Let I repeat that. The West is hypocritical for courting Iran as it executes minors. Homosexuality is a crime in Sharia. Muslim majority countries live by the law of Sharia, which is the law of the Prophet Muhammad, blessings and peace. Homosexuals are pushed off tops of buildings, are hung and stoned to death. Iran's regime executed a gay adolescent in July, the first confirmed execution of someone convicted as a juvenile in the Islamic Republic in 2016. Amnesty International reported this week. Hassan Afshar, 19, was hanged in Arak prison in Iran's Markazi province on July 18th after he was convicted of forced male-to-male anal intercourse in early 2015, the NGO said in a statement Tuesday. An LGBT rights activist and spokesman for the European Stop the Bomb campaign told the Jerusalem Post on Thursday, consensual homosexual conduct remains illegal under Iran's Sharia law and is punished with public flogging or even execution, while the Islamic State throws gays from rooftops. The Islamic Republic of Iran hangs them. Amnesty said the Iranian authorities received a complaint accusing Afshar and 2 other adolescents of forcing a teenage boy to have sex. Afshar, who was arrested in December of 2014, said the same-sex relations were consensual and that the accuser had freely engaged in prior homosexual relations. Iran has proved that its sickening enthusiasm for putting juveniles to death in contravention of international law knows no bounds, said Magdalena Moghrabi, Deputy Middle East and North Africa Program Director at Amnesty International. She added that Hassan Afar was a 17-year-old high school student when he was arrested. He had no access to a lawyer, and the judiciary rushed through the investigation and prosecution, convincing and sentencing him to death within 2 months of his arrest, as though they could not execute him quickly enough. Iran frequently executes gay men for same-sex relations and frames the men for rape charges to justify its Islamic law application of lethal homophobia. Amnesty International said, in a cruel stroke of irony, officials did not inform Hassan Afshar of his death sentence for around 7 months while he was held in a juvenile detention facility because they did not want to cause him distress, and yet, astonishingly, were still prepared to execute him. With this execution, Iranian authorities have demonstrated once again their callous disregard for human rights. And yes, the Obama administration, who received millions and millions and millions of dollars and support from gay rights organizations all over the world, is supporting a man that supports countries that execute homosexuals and adolescent homosexuals for their crime of love. Not to mention what is done in these countries to the women. Millions of dollars were given by women and homosexuals to Barack Obama because they believed he would stand for human rights, for the rights of homosexuals to love and marry and be free, and for women to be free and unoppressed. Yet, he tells us, Islam is a religion of peace. The over 57 Muslim majority countries live by Sharia law. I would suggest you learning about Sharia law. Why are we supporting Iran, giving them money to build up a nuclear arsenal, a world supporter of terrorism? Why are we doing this? Ask yourself. Death to America, death to Israel. And one day, as Islam promises, and I know this to be true, I have the books, and I have Muslim friends from Egypt, that it is Muhammad's promise to take over the world, Jerusalem, as they conquered during the time of the Crusades. The Crusades were a response to the Muslim conquest of Jerusalem, and then on to Rome, and they will take over the Holy See, and then take over the world. This is the order of Muhammad the Prophet. Blessings and peace be upon him. I'm sure we cannot really fault them for what they do, because they are only doing what they are told and faithfully following the religion. Though we believed Obama to be a man of peace, he did, after all, receive the Peace Prize before he even entered the presidency. And what did he do with that? He waited on too many things. Thank you for listening. Come back again. Please like and subscribe. I appreciate you listening tonight. As always,